What's up, guys, and welcome to our Week 3 Team Builder for the League of Extraordinary Trainers. Your Ladner Lanturn are taking on Crispy and the Chicago Chandies this week. Crispy is a replacement coach. We had the former coach Jamesy and the Crystal Palkias in this spot, but unfortunately Jamesy does not have access to a DS for the remainder of the season, so Crispy so kindly hopped in and took over his team. Crispy had quite an unfortunate match last week against Wower in the Buenos Aires Bumblebees, um, so he'll be looking to get some clean revenge on us, and hopefully we can stop that from happening and pick up the W on our side. So Crispy's team is Starmie, Victini, Gudra, Dublade, Shaman, Xploud, Gligar, Girder, Vikavolt, Megadiancy, and Cresselia. His Z captains are Victini and Vikavolt. Technically, Jamesy made these the Z captains, so next week will be the week where Crispy can declare his first Z captains of his own, because we are changing, or we have the option to change our Z captains going into week 4. His hazard setters are Diancie with Stealth Rocks and Gligar with Stealth Rocks. That's all the hazards I believe that I could see on his team. His hazard removal is Starmie with Rapid Spin and Gligar with Defog. So the Starmie with Rapid Spin we can Spin Block with Mimikyu potentially. My opponent's 4x weaknesses are Diancie to Steel typing. And my opponent's priority is Dublade with Shadow Sneak and Girder with Mach Punch. Girder with Mach Punch can't hit Ghost types, but Dublade with Shadow Sneak can. It's actually some neat synergy going on there. So let's take a look at our first mon. Now I do have to preface this. I had some genning issues this week. You know, all the credit goes to Wower. Like, he's a fantastic dude, and last week he came in clutch with the genning for me. But he has to gen for 16 people, so I can't expect him to be perfect. And it was kind of a disaster this week. Selgor had Sludge Bomb on it instead of Hidden Power, which was the set I ran last week, but it had the same EVs that I wanted this week. And I thought that I could just delete the Sludge Bomb and put my own Hidden Power on, but it turned out to be Hidden Power Dragon instead of Hidden Power Ice, which is actually kind of key. So I got a Selgor regened. Rotom had EVs in the wrong place, which was significant because they're like a large number of EVs, and I don't have the time to just go and reset those and stuff like that. Like, I have school and other leagues to prep for. And Mienshao had EVs in the wrong place as well. So I got those regened, and unfortunately when Selgor got regened, it was not shiny, and it was missing the K from Kakashi. So this is what we're working with this week. We've got Akashi, the non-shiny Selgor, Choice Spec Sticky Hold. We're running Choice Spec Sticky Hold again. Crispy doesn't have too many switch-ins to a Choice Specs Bug Buzz, I'm not gonna lie. Soundproof Xploud is obviously immune to it. Megadiancy's a switch into it. And besides that, maybe Dublade as well. Dublade's kind of a switch into it as well, but it destroys Starmie, it destroys Shaman, it 2-KOs Victini, it destroys Vikavolt, it destroys Cresselia. Gudra can take it well because Gudra's a special tank. Gligar can take it well because it's an Violite Mon. Girder can take it well because it's an Violite Mon. Energy Ball hits the Starmie. That's pretty much it. Oh no, that hits Megadiancy too. That's there for Megadiancy. Hidden Power Ice hits the Gligar. That's pretty much the only reason we have that there. And Final Gambit is there to take out a huge threat to my team. If he's just gonna bring it in on my Selgor. Like, if I can Final Gambit the Megadiancy, or the Victini, then we're probably in a pretty good spot here. There's no way my Final Gambit's going to take out the Cresselia, because Cresselia already has such a huge base HP stat, and there's no way he's not running HP investment. So Final Gambit would not kill the Cresselia. It would chunk it low enough, but I'd rather... This week, I made a mistake last week, or in my mind I think it was a mistake of just Final Gambiting the Volcarona right off the bat, which in the end turned out to be pretty good. But it removed my Choice Spec Sludge Bomb for the Clefable later, so I don't really want to remove, because the Selgor is a big threat to his team. I don't really want to just remove it from the playing field for no reason. So running Modest because we don't need Timid to outspeed anything on his team, because his highest speed tier is Starmie at base 115. We are outspeeding Starmie with the speed investment by 1 point. max special attack modest, and I just pop the rest into HP. This also gives us, how conveniently, a nice odd HP value for potential stealth rocks from Deancey or Gligar. It doesn't really let us take hits from Victini better. It lets us take hits from things like Shaman better, moves that we would already resist like Seed Flare, Fighting Stab from Girder that we're already going to resist. Hopefully it lets us take a Boom Burst better from X-Cloud. I doubt it. Yeah, that's Akashi this week. We are bringing Air Canada again this week. Never hit the field last week, unfortunately for it. Corona did have Clefable sitting there, which was a good check to physically offensive Latios, and it was at +2, so if I was specially offensive last week, then it wouldn't have mattered anyways, so good thing Latios didn't hit the field in the end. We're bringing specially offensive Mega Latios this week with Psyshock, Surf, Dragon Pulse, and Roost. Psyshock hits everything on his team, technically. Not very well, but it does. It does hit the Girder for better damage. Girder has higher special defense than defense. So pop a Psyshock on that thing and it's gone. Surf is there to hit the Mega Deancey and the Gligar and the Victini, and Dragon Pulse is there to hit everything else for neutral, and Goodra for super effective, because his only fairy on his team is Mega Deancey. So if we can break through that with Surf, which does OHKO by the way, we do have to risk a speed tie, but it does OHKO. We've got Roost here for tanking hits from like a Shaman and then threatening that thing out with like a Psyshock or a Dragon Pulse, and we can heal get some HP back off of that. We're running Timid max speed, max special attack, 4 and Spidef. He has special threats like Goodra and Deancey that I'm worried about. I don't know if this 4 will make a difference at all, to be honest with you, but Mega Latios does have quite the bulky special defense stat. We do have to run max speed to speed tie the Mega Deancey. Excuse me. Sorry about that. We're bringing Dyrus the Rotom Heat again. We're bringing a more defensive Rotom Heat with Leftovers, Overheat, Volt Switch, Pain Split, and Toxic. This is kind of my Victini switch in to a Banded V-Create, hopefully. I'm pretty sure that I outspeed a -1 speed Victini, and I can get a big Pain Split off, because that thing has got 100 base HP. And so even though we're running max HP, it's still going to give us quite a bit back because we've half the base HP of it. Hopefully crippling the Victini enough where it can't switch into anything, and also doing enough damage so that Mimikyu can clean it up later. We'll talk about that in a bit. Toxic is there to wear down things like the Cresselia if it switches in on me, the Gligar if it comes in. I don't think he has a Cleric on his team. I could be wrong. I believe Shaman gets Wish, and that's... Well, he has Lunar Dance and Cresselia potentially. That's another thing that he could bring, is Lunar Dance and Cresselia. I don't believe anything else gets recovery like that. So yeah, that's there to wear that. Bulky Starmie, Toxic's there to wear down that. Goodra, Toxic's there to wear down that. Girder is probably not gonna get Toxic because I'm scared of Guts. Actually, Girder usually runs Iron Fist, but I still could be scared of Guts. It doesn't matter for the Shaman because Shaman gets Natural Cure anyways. Possibly Victini getting Toxic would be good. I can't Toxic the Mega Deancey, obviously. I'm not really scared of Toxicing a Vikavolt, but I could Toxic the Vikavolt. I don't know. Overheat's there. It kills the Vikavolt in one hit. It does a lot of damage to the Shaman, does a lot of damage to the Doublade, does a lot of damage to the Gligar, does a lot of damage to the Mega Deancey, blah blah blah. Volt Switch there for momentum, obviously. We are running Bold max HP, 204 in defense. This lets us take 2 V-Creates and 52 in special attack just because it's there. I didn't need the speed because there's nothing on his team that I would want to speed creep necessarily except for max speed Gligar, and no one brings like max speed Gligar or like max speed Goodra, and again no one brings max speed Goodra or max speed Cresselia, and no one brings max speed Cresselia. So there's no point in me speed creeping anything this week. I naturally outspeed X-Cloud anyways unless he's running max speed Modest or max speed Timid. And I don't know, I can get a slow Volt Switch off on that thing, or Pain Split it again. So that's Dyrus' role this week. We're bringing Cheng back again. This is another Scarf Mienshao this week with Regenerator. U-Turn, Drain Punch, Knockoff, and High Jump Kick. So U-Turn is there for good momentum. It hits the Shaman super effectively, hits the Starmie super effectively, hits the Cresselia super effectively. I'm hoping that it can break a Cresselia sub because we're Adamant max attack. Drain Punch is there for good recovery, and it's a good move to lock us into late game. The only problem is Deblade, that's only Ghost type, so I have to worry about that. That's what Knockoff's there for. He's got 3 Violate users, and I want to get items off of those things. Potentially getting a band off of Victini would also be good too. Knocking off whatever item Cresselia has, unless it's Colbur Berry, then that's a problem. Knocking off whatever item Goodra has, whatever Choice Specs thing Exploud might have, Choice Scarf on Exploud. I'm expecting Vikavolt to be Z-move if he brings Vikavolt, so obviously I'm not going to click Knockoff on that thing. But Drain Punch is going to do a lot to that thing, or I can just U-turn out into my Rotom and just kill it. So that's the plan for Mancho. We actually don't need to outspeed anything this week with a Scarf on. He has 2 knockup users. I think it's only 2. Pretty sure it's only 2 knockup users in Gligar and Girder, and I outspeed both of those, so there's no way. I'm also not staying in on either of those, to be honest with you. I just want to catch it with a knockoff on the switch, so there's no way my Scarf's going to get knocked off. And even if it does get knocked off, I'm still outspeeding quite a bit of his team with no speed investment, just from how naturally fast Mienshao is already. Yeah, but with a Scarf, we outspeed absolutely everything on his team. If he brings Scarf Starmie, then I don't know what to say. Like, why would you bring Scarf Starmie? It's your fastest mon on your team. There's no reason to run Scarf on that thing. Like, I'm never going to bring Scarf a Selgor to outspeed, like, Muddy's Mega Beedrill or something. Like, that's not going to be a thing that happens. So, yeah, Scarf lets us outspeed all of his base 100s anyways. Like, he's got Victini and Shaman. It seems to be the week of Mythicals for me, or Pixies in general. We're playing Victini and Shaman this game. In the UPBA we played Jirachi, and then in Sapple this week we also played Jirachi, so it's kind of crazy. And we have Manaphy on our team too. So that's a little bit insane. Moving on, we have Sparky, the Manaphy here. Sparky's one of our win cons this week. We're running Leftovers, Sub, Calm Mind, Surf, Ice Beam. This coverage hits his entire team except for Starmie. Yep, Starmie is the only thing that takes that doesn't take neutral or super effective damage from these 2 moves, which I'm not concerned about because Starmie is very frail, and if I can get up enough Calm Minds, then I will take it down with a Surf. We're running max HP, max special attack, calm natured, 4 into special defense. His threats that could like break my sub, I want the calm nature and 4 special defense in there for. Hopefully I can sub up on something like Cresselia, or potentially like a -2 Goodra or something. I could set up on that. He could bring like physically offensive Goodra with Power Whip or something like that, and that could be a threat. As long as I can get a sub up, I can eat a Scarf Shaman Seed Flare and fire back with an Ice Beam to kill that thing. Yeah, I didn't really want to bring Tailglow this week because I think Calm Mind's better against his team. Stops a lot of damage from like Starmie, stops a lot of damage from Shaman once I get high enough, stops a lot of damage from Cresselia, stops a lot of damage from Moonblast or Mega Diancie. Obviously, Exploud Boomburst can go through sub, which is an issue. But if he's swapping in Exploud, then I get a free hit off on it, kind of. We are running max HP and a plus Spit F nature, so I would think that we can take a Boomburst relatively well. Vikavolt does sort of threaten me out because Bug Buzz goes through sub, and Thunderbolt can do a lot of damage, and potentially Energy Ball, although I think that he would just run Thunderbolt. Energy Ball is usually on Vikavolt for like rock types. Actually, you know what? He's probably bringing Energy Ball for Rhydon if he brings Vikavolt, so that makes sense. Or Mamoswine. Yeah, so last but not least is Sean, the Shiny Mimikyu. We're bringing Focus Sash this week. This is really interesting. It's the same moveset as standard Mimikyu, SD player off Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw. We do need the Shadow Sneak. I was thinking of running something else instead of Shadow Sneak, like Substitute, which actually doesn't make sense with Focus Sash, but I was thinking of it before I put the item on. Shadow Sneak's there to hit. He's got 3 Psychic types and a Ghost type that are all weak to Shadow Sneak priority, and my goal is to sort of like set up 2 Sword Stances on like Cresselia, get a free switch into Mimikyu on Cresselia, set up 2 Sword Stances while he tries to break my disguise, and then get through my Focus Sash potentially if he's like set up enough. Shadow Claw at +4 will kill the Cresselia, and at +4 I pretty much kill everything on his team that doesn't outspeed me, and then the things that do outspeed me, I can Shadow Sneak for a ton of damage. Mimikyu's job is to be a wall breaker, and then I could have like Scarf Mienshao clean up late game, or Specs to Selgor clean up late game. So I want to get Mimikyu in as early as possible. We're running max attack, 20 in Spit F and 236 in speed. I just popped the rest into Spit F this week. We're running Adamant Nature with 236 speed because we only need to outspeed max speed Gudra. That's the goal, is we're outspeeding max speed Gudra, which hits 145, and we're hitting 146. Again, because I don't think his base 85 Mons, which would be the other thing that I could speed creep, are going to run max speed. Like, I don't think Gliger's running max speed or Cresselia's running max speed. And I'm obviously not outspeeding his base 100s anyways, because I think that he has to run max speed on Shaman and Victini to be able to outspeed my Manaphy. Again, which I'm not running any speed on, because I think that he's going to waste EVs in speed on Victini and Shaman. And then I have the bulk to tank their hits a little better, and they don't have the bulk to tank my hits any better. That's the plan. So again, our win cons are Mimikyu, setting up on Cresselia, Manaphy setting up on something, potentially, excuse me, Rotom Heat setting up, or getting a Pain Split off from Victini and weakening that thing, and just generally weakening things on his team. He only has one switch into a Volt Switch, and that's Gliger. And if Gliger comes in, then I'm going to Toxic that thing. He can't Earthquake me. He could set up Rocks, which could be a problem. I really don't want Rocks up, so that my Focus Sash is still intact, but I'm not running Hazard Removal because it's not that big a deal. Like, I don't think, if I was sitting up on Cresselia anyways, unless he had like a few Calm Minds up, I don't think that he's gonna pop my Focus Sash with the second Wind Blast anyways to get my second Sword Stance up. It's just sort of there if I happen to need it, I guess. Like, I could have used something like Life Orb better, but I thought that this guaranteed me 2 Sword Stances up on Cresselia at the very least. So that's the deal. Shoutouts to Kade for the artwork. Victini is finally back to use properly this week because we're playing the team with Victini on it. We are one of the few 2-0 teams left in the league. This is a very important divisional matchup, so I'd love to come away with the W on this one. We are playing a little bit later tonight. That would be fantastic if I could come away with a win. 3-0 sounds like a lot better start to me than 2-1 does, especially because there's a lot of teams that are 1-1 that could pick up a win and suddenly tie me in the standings. I really would not like that. I'm competing against like the best of the best here. With the record that I'm at, like Loco and TJ both are 2-0 and Wower's 2-0 as well. I can't think of any other teams that are 2-0. Hopefully I'm not wrong in the fact that they're the only 2-0 teams. I know there were like 4 teams that didn't even play week 1, so technically there's only 12 of us that could get to 2-0 at this point, which isn't even how statistics work, Ian. Anyways, yeah, so stay tuned for the battle. Hopefully it'll be a good one against Crispy. I'd love to just like break down some walls. A Selgor, like, it came in my first match and didn't even see the field, and the second match all it did was get off a final gambit. So I'm really hoping to show off the power of Choice Specs Bug Buzz this week. Like, I keep bringing it every single week because it puts in so much work against everything. I didn't think when drafting it that it would be this good. Also, I figured out some licky tech. I didn't even know that that thing got Belly Drum. So hopefully we'll be bringing Belly Drum licky to some games in the future and bashing people with like +6 fire punches. I have no idea what's gonna come. Yeah, anyways, that's been the team builder for me versus Crispy and the Chicago Chandies, and I'll see you guys for the match.